Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Ukraine says its forces have recaptured villages from Russian troops north and northeast of Kharkiv, pushing them back towards the border. Footage released from the Ukrainian armed forces purportedly shows a Russian tank being destroyed in the Kharkiv region. Ukraine's president said those he called the occupiers were gradually being pushed out of the area. Here, footage of Ukrainian troops re-entering villages around the city. The ongoing offensive could signal a shift in the war's momentum and jeopardize Russia's main advance further south. The UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has signed a security declaration with Sweden and pledged UK support should Sweden or Finland come under attack.
And in times of crisis,
Swedish leader Magdalena Andersson said if either country should come under attack, the UK and Sweden will assist each other in a variety of ways. Boris Johnson said it is a sad irony that EU leaders are being forced to discuss the best way to fortify shared defences on the anniversary of the end of World War II. Both Sweden and Finland say they are considering joining NATO, although Russia said they would respond if this were to happen. The Qatar-based news channel Al Jazeera says Israel was behind the gunfire in the occupied West Bank that killed their journalist and reporter Shireen Abu Akleh. These were the moments after the shooting. Here, Shireen Abu Akleh is filmed being rushed to hospital. Colleagues mourned her death in a parade in the streets soon after. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said that according to information Israel had gathered so far, it appears likely that armed Palestinians were responsible for the death of the journalist. However, a journalist who was injured in the shootings says Israel was responsible. We, a group of journalists, were there wearing our full press uniform in addition to the helmets with the word press written in large letters. We were obvious. And Al Jazeera's managing editor agrees.
We see this as intentional targeting of Al Jazeera and its journalists to prevent them from conducting their duties and reporting to the world what's happening on the ground. We consider this done by the Israeli forces. We think that they have the responsibility of what happened.
Shanghai officials have confirmed they will further restrict access to food and hospitals in some parts of the city, the most severe phase of its extended lockdown yet. Commercial food and deliveries are not allowed, and access to hospitals for all but emergencies must first be approved. Neighbours of COVID-19 cases and others living close by are also being forced into government quarantine facilities. Shanghai is now in its 7th week of citywide restrictions. Sri Lanka witnessed a second night of arson attacks with properties damaged in the town of Negombo near the capital Colombo. A mob torched a luxury holiday resort owned by the son of the former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. More than 200 are believed to have been injured in the clashes. A passenger on board a United Airlines flight has captured the moment when the plane made an emergency landing in the Peruvian capital of Lima. The passenger filmed sparks flying from the engine as it made its emergency descent. The 855 was travelling to Houston from Lima when it developed technical problems. In a statement, United Airlines said its maintenance team would investigate what caused the technical problem. Incredible video footage has captured the moment a beach house in North Carolina's coast crumbled into the ocean due to high tides and strong winds. 2 properties were swept away by the waves, according to the US National Park Service officials, warning that other homes were also at risk. The unoccupied homes were located along Ocean Drive in the Outer Banks community. The Park Service confirmed that it has closed off the areas around the houses. And Apple has announced it is discontinuing its music player, the iPod Touch, bringing to end a device widely praised for revolutionising how people listen to music. When the first iPod was launched in 2001, it could store 1,000 tracks, and the device was revolutionary in many other ways. Today, there are more than 90 million songs on Apple's streaming service. There have been various iPod models over the years, but the iPod Touch, which was released in 2007, is the last model to be discontinued. Apple says it will remain available to buy while stocks last. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.